this thing.
Ryan, we have a lot of stuff. Well, no, we don't. I mean, it's let's just go. Let's do it this way. Ryan, the couple things here. One, you just said Comey is not and I think Letitia James was the other one. They'll find ways to get these people out of things. Draining the swamp is a pipe dream at best, and I don't even think they were really dreaming. MAG is dead. There's no drain the swamp.
It's also the anniversary of JFK getting shot in the fucking head, isn't it?
Ryan. You know, I read
Candace Owens gonna get assassinated by the French government.
I don't remember what year I originally read 1984, but I was quite a bit younger than I am now. But it's been a while, and I already don't have a good memory. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I will reread 1984 just for like a refresher.
Did you speed read, or you actually sat and read the whole thing?
I got it. I haven't gone through the whole thing yet.
Okay. Did you mark up your book, David? Are you a bookmarker? Like you write in it? And
no.
I'm a noter. I'm a big noter.
Here's the deal. I was noticing some things.
Like what, David?
As most people have noticed. But let me tell you how smart these people are. First of all, as everyone does know already, this isn't groundbreaking stuff that I'm going to say, but everyone knows that George Orwell fucking nailed it. Everyone knows that. Completely fucking nailed it. Artistic extremes, whatever. Listen, if you were trying to predict the future, you couldn't get closer. It's pretty impressive.
Is it impressive, David, or he just like...
It's history.
Knew the plan?
It's history. It's not impressive because the thing that's cool is you don't have to predict the future, you just have to know the past. Because really, we've said this before, even though technology changes and all this stuff, and you have the telescreen and all that's kind of cool because that was way before that existed. But the thing is, I've said this on the show before, human nature has not changed at all. Now, technology has changed and evolved, but people are fundamentally the same. Human psychology is fundamentally the same. We're exploring different territories of it. We're pushing it to the extremes a little bit, but fundamentally, literally caveman and us, not that much different.
Jordan Peterson said that the average human intelligence hasn't changed in at least 100,000 years. We're just as smart as people were 100,000 years ago.
I 100% could see that. And it's not even necessarily intelligent stuff, but I think there's there's things just subconscious things that you do as a human that are just
collective
the way.
It's
literally the way we are. So I don't want to give Orwell too much praise for predicting the future, because really, if you know the past, you can predict the future because we're all the same, and it's just on literally we're just on a repeat, literally all the time. So it's probably not that crazy what he did. There were some things he called that nobody should have seen coming, but fundamentally, it's not that insane what he did. With that said, I've noticed as I'm going through this just some little things, and I think, man, we've said it before, the people at the very top, the elites, these people aren't stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. And I think they've learned from 1984. Because if you look at certain things, let me tell you why 1984 exists but can't really exist. They say in the book, the power is in the proles, right? That was the only way to overthrow the party is with just the lowly citizens, right? Of
the peasants.
The peasants of Oceania, right? Is that what so the thing that's different is they had the party on its face. It was us versus them. it is still us versus them, but where they're smart is they give you the illusion of choice, they give you the illusion of power, they give you the illusion of I can vote my way out of this. It- instead of us fighting them, it's us fighting us because that guy's a Democrat and he thinks maybe healthcare should be free, and that guy's a Republican and he thinks maybe I shouldn't have to pay for your junk food. We're fighting over this dumb shit. It's worth talking about this stuff. It's worth trying to change people's minds on this stuff. But we're losing important battles because we're arguing about whether or not we should pay for people's sugary beverages. Personally, I don't think we should pay for people's sugary beverages. I know you feel the same way. I get your point, though. If I'm going to send all my money overseas to blow up other countries I've never been to, then buy them sugary
Buy all the
beverages.
soda you want, dude.
Give them a sugary beverage and send them to college because, quite frankly, otherwise, what are we going to do with the
It's a
money you
higher
stole from me?
ROI of my money than fucking murdering children
So,
in Pakistan or
and I think
Palestine.
we both fall on the same ground where we'd rather not pay for any of it. But like, if you're going to give me the choice, I'd rather feed people around me than blow up other countries. Sure,
Give the homeless guy crack. I don't. I've literally given homeless people $20. Like,
but we're
just go get high,
pretending.
dude. I don't really give a fuck. I don't care.
The thing
I
is,
don't care anymore. I stopped
Orwell
caring.
talks about
I
the
stopped caring.
party.
There is no the party, David, right? Is that where you're kinda I don't wanna to steal your thunder, but I assume that's where you're kinda heading
No,
this. Like, how can we
well here's
it
well
it
here's
was
the thing.
really easy in a fiction story. It's really easy to slay Sauron because it's so black and white, like, he is the
That's well,
eye.
yes. So in 1984, there is the party. In reality today, there is also the party. Let's be clear, there is the party.
Left and right
But
wings are of the same bird, David.
sure. But we're given the illusion of choice. So we think, well, if we vote for Trump, yeah, MAGA, woo, we're going to drain the swamp, all this cool shit. That's cool. That sounds nice. It doesn't work because they all go to the same place. They're literally in the same place. I think Congress goes to the same. They are Congress. They are, yes, the House and the Senate, but like they're together. Different parties together. They're voting in the same place. They're doing the same things. They're the same people because they're unified in their house. They feel it's their house. We pay for it. It's their house. That's how they feel. I'm telling you how these people feel.
They built a
And they
wall
do
around
look
the
at
White
it.
House, David, so you can't
They absolutely do look at it as us versus them. And the difference is they're unified in us. They are us. They are us. And we're not them. We're like we pretend to fight over dumb shit that doesn't matter. It things do matter, but fundamentally nothing is more important than freedom. At the end of the day, that's it. That's literally the only thing that matters.
Yeah,
Is
Snap should
how
be
free
turned
are
on.
you?
Turn on Snap so I can have freedom back.
So we're but the point in all of that is as I'm reading through this, I know these people are learning from this. And this is, decades and decades old at this point. What was it written in the 40s or something?
50s.
I could be wrong about that. 50s.
58, I
So
believe.
like forever ago, forever ago. I just don't see I don't like being doom and gloom on here. Like there's certainly people that are better than other people, but at the end of the day, you're not draining the swamp. The MAGA thing was cool. It was fun. I liked it. I was on board with the idea of it. But like, you do have to set a realistic expectation that when you send a few people in there, you're sending a few of our people into their house, and we're still outnumbered. So yeah, Thomas Massey, woohoo, Marjorie Taylor Greene, whatever, whoop de doo, Lauren Boebert, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Matt Gaetz, whoop, he's out. It doesn't matter because you're sending in. Like I said, I can count maybe on two hands, but probably only on one. The amount of people in Congress that are worth a fuck. The ones that I legitimately think are like us. It's
But David,
less than five.
do they keep them there so that the people that are awake to the 1984 programming have somebody to point to and say, "These are the good people"? Is Rand Paul compromised by default?
No, I don't think they have to. Could that be a case? Sure, but I don't think they have to because there's not the numbers. We don't have the numbers. I think legitimately a few good people slip in every once in a while, and that's just they don't worry about it because
And George Soros just funds local elections so they never get there again.
sure, local DAs, local elections, like who cares? You're never gonna, dude. Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene say what you want. I'm not saying she's like my favorite person on earth or anything, but like she was legitimately pushing for the things Trump campaigned on. Trump turned on her because she was pushing for the things that he campaigned on, releasing Epstein files, and then threatened to primary her. And now she's resigning, which, okay, he, listen, resigning a couple days after the pension kicks in, I get it. That's when I would choose to resign too. I'm not going to falter for that. But the point
Get paid, baby. I get fucking paid.
is she resigning on her own accord? And I think that's a question worth asking.
What do you mean? You think they threatened her, David?
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. They're gonna kill Candace Owens.
We can't. Well, that's actually what this show is going to be about today, right? Candace
I
Owens.
just
I'm seeing a lot of this, and I'll let you just go. But I just want to set the stage on this because I see the Candace Owens thing. Get her up says MAGA was never cool. Sure. I see the Candace Owens things come out, right? She
the thought
says,
of MAGA was cool. You have to admit the idea
okay,
that a party could just fucking sweep things. You know, short of you're Bernie. What are you, a Bernie, bro? I had a joke that you know, you spell burn Burn Bernie IE because he burned you. He burned you. He said, "I'm gonna not let millionaires and billionaires be the political ruling class." And then he was funded by George Soros. His campaign, MoveOn.org's #1 campaign contributioner, was George Soros, a billionaire. But he said that he is going to go after millionaires and billionaires. And then when after he became a millionaire, he stopped referencing millionaires and only was going to target billionaires. I
yeah, I
was
don't know.
almost Dave and I have talked about this. I was almost a Bernie bro. Almost. He said he tugged on all the shit. Student loans are so expensive. Yeah, they fucking are expensive, dude. The 1/10
He
of
was
1%
he
owns
was
more
basically the
wealth.
rent is too damn high guy. He was basically that guy.
Yeah,
Like
he was with the
like his solution would be like the government,
rent control.
yeah, rent control. It's like all right, Barney, nailed
So
it.
what,
Like
BlackRock has
definitely,
unlimited government money to just build fucking low income housing, which is for everybody but rich people. You know, you think
definitely.
about low income housing, the thought of it is everybody's low income housing if you make under $1 million a year. Nobody thought it. I don't think anybody's thought about that, but these
Here's the
mainstream,
thing with
whatever,
MAGA.
David.
Like
Whatever.
when you say MAGA was never cool and whatever, you could have always been skeptical of Trump, and that's fine. We certainly have
We
too.
literally have always been skeptical of Trump.
But the point, like the thing with MAGA, here's the thing, and I asked Ryan this the other day, but like when people tie MAGA to Trump because he was the running around marketing it, because duh, that's what he does for a living as a marketer. Um, the thing is, the people who voted for it are the people who truly believe in the movement, and the movement is simple, and I think the movement does make sense, which is all the stuff that we're talking about, America first, but America only, more importantly. Why are we sending our money all the way over to foreign nations? Why are we not securing our borders? Why are we taking care of everybody else before we take care of our own? I think those are super important, crucial questions. And I think it it didn't light a fire in people. People already had that fire lit. He was just able to tap into that. But
The catalyst.
that's not going to go away. Like that isn't going away. The reason Trump won isn't because of Trump. The reason Trump won is because he was the one who tapped into it. But that market's there and it's not moving.
The people I know aren't going to keep going to work tomorrow. And then J6 happened. I said that for what, David? A year and a half on the program?
And it's, well, yes, and it's certainly not going away when people are legitimately threatened or dying over it. Ryan, it's interesting because Candace Owens took to X to point out that the French government could potentially have an assassination plot against her. She used the term allegedly, but she also said she has proof,
We
which I'd
can't
love.
speak in absolutes, David. We are not Sith lords.
Well, we're not lawyers either. And of course, I would love to, and I look forward to seeing the evidence on that because that would literally be the biggest news that I've seen in my lifetime. But with that said, I think the thing that's important to note is that people are brushing this off as they often do with Candace Owens, and part of it is because of the way Candace Owens is. But the thing is, it's crazy to me that we just saw Charlie Kirk in the matter of the last couple months here, and
I
2
didn't,
months,
David,
right?
but clearly
Yeah,
everybody else
whatever.
did.
It's crazy that we all saw that happen, and then 2 months later, Candace Owens says a foreign government is an assassination plot against her. That's crazy. They would never assassinate what a political commentator. Are we really already 2 months ago? We really already think that's crazy.
Well,
It
Dave, it's not,
just happened.
well, it's either you get assassinated or you pay the GDP of the seventh largest economy on earth.
I don't know, Ryan. What do you think? What do you think about? Have you seen anything about this?
I saw the same tweet everybody else saw.
Let me pull it up. Should I pull it up and read it?
And I have, David, I have gone on record on our program for what, up at least a month, 2 months, that said somebody somewhere said some shit to her to piss her off. Right? Like, you don't just like go from Daily Wire to Alex Jones as Candace Owens in the span of 10 years. I mean, how long ago was she was there during the first Trump administration, if not shortly after? Before I forget, David, before we get out of here, I want you to roll the video clip of George Orwell's final warning to I think the BBC interviewed him before he passed away from, what did he have? Tuberculosis, if I'm not mistaken, that he got when he was over in Russia because he was a commie. Are you dead? Did they assassinate you? Um, yeah, I don't look the Candace Owens tweet thing. Like, hopefully Dave can pull it up if he's here. But we had Dr. Mike Tremont on the program. Okay, I don't exactly remember what he's in a Republican think tank basically in Washington, unless he got moved around to something else. Maybe we can try to get him on again, but after calling for the death of politicians, I don't know if his PR guy would let him on. But if we can get him on again, I would love to actually have him talk about the Charlie Kirk stuff. He's a former police officer as well, and he's also a former executive. He like what the hell consulted banks at like global banks, like Goldman Sachs level banks. Um, maybe just to get his breakdown at the inside baseball of like why he said his number one worry is political violence. You know, and I think that was before Trump even. No, I think it'd be post election. But I mean, what is there to say? I have said that Candace was. I always said it was the devil, which I'm not going to rule out. I know not everybody's religious, and I'm completely cool with that. But it might as well be the devil if the French government is going to assassinate you. I don't think Candace Owens is crazy. I don't think it's crazy to think that foreign governments all over the globe have a hit list of people. Why wouldn't they? The United States assassinates people all the time. I mean, they can drone strike you without a jury trial. They just say you're a terrorist and they can fucking blow you up with a predator drone. 2 words, predator drone. It's Barack Obama line. Dave kind of skirted around that the power was in the paralysis, whatever, you know, the lower hanging fruit of society. And I don't know if Orwell ever really actually explained why. I think it's always obviously artistic interpretation outlives the artist. But I would almost wager it's just because of the elites don't feel small unless they're surrounded by a lot of things. And money can insulate you and buy a lot of room. We're in the day and age now that these people have mega yachts and they have private islands. So it's not much different from Orwell's day because, quite frankly, Bilderberg Group used to meet at private islands all the time. But I can't imagine the shit that happened before cell phones as well in some of these inner circles. But it always struck me as odd. You know, I've told you guys for years, Dave has seen me. You know, we always talk about history, religion, politics, and art is common sense. And I've I've been in the inclination that that would be the thing to save America. Not necessarily save America, but in a country of individuals, what all you can do is talk to individuals. You know, that's what a lot of these conversations have been, Dave and I. friends of mine, strangers in public. When I always tried, and I still try to get to the individual. I used to speak about firearms because honestly, it's the linchpin of the Constitution and X, Y, and Z. But the more I learned, the more I understood that like the food and water was the way. And now that we have all the things in the food and water, the air supply, it's the contamination, microplastics, the estrogen mimicking chemicals. I thought that would be the one to wake people up, and it didn't. People doubled down on GMO, saying it's a good thing. Bill Gates was a ruthless businessman when it came to his Windows operating system, but he can be the biggest farmer of lab grown meat. And people line up and sign up and they buy the shit. They believe in it. They're told it's marketed. They can use our touch telly screens here to influence your dopamine so high that they make you do anything. It's like it's Bo Burr said this. They're coming for every second. They're trying to monetize every second of your existence with ad revenue or clicks and he said at least that he can't blame them because these companies go public so they have to tie to profits blah, but I will tell you that it is on purpose. Whether or not they knew that they could influence elections with social media or not is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is it can. They psychologically hook you with the screen. Blue light filter glasses. I remember first hearing about how the TV screen flickers at a frequency that mimics that of a bug zapper. Alex used to talk about it, and he would show you the articles. It was from like the mid 2000s, early 2010s. Now we have blue light blocking glasses, which, if you go further, blue light blocking glasses don't actually work. You need a red tinted glass because red is the lowest frequency of light that we can visually see. So they give you the information, but they don't give you the solution. And then they give you, once again, just like our politicians, they give you the illusion of a solution. Vote for this person, buy these glasses, drink this water that's in glass and triple purified. Come to find out that glass actually has more microplastics and chemicals than plastic. Oh, buy the blue light blocking glasses. Well, you need a red lens, not a blue one. And then they price you out of it. They price you out of the real meat. They price you out of owning a home. Not that you should or shouldn't own a home. I'm not going to tell you that. But owning a home right now is retarded. It's literally stupid. I don't know if it will ever go back to a place that will be able to own things. They told us that you will own nothing and like it. Oceana in 1984. Dave did such a good job of bringing that up and glossing right over everything because it's just so. I'll go on record. Dave is saying that Orwell predicted the future by knowing history. There's a fair bit of that, but I would wager, and it's been wagered, that Orwell saw the plan because this plan has been in place for a very long time. The idea of controlling the masses has always been there. The illusion of liberty to allow them to eat their cake, right? Marie Antoinette. Orwell knew the plan. Orwell seen the plan, and then he turned it into fiction to try to wake people up. But you can't awaken a sleeping giant. It's too big, right? It's crazy. I still like metaphors, even though they don't mean nothing. But in Oceana, there's a scene in there that the friend of Winston, I don't know if he's a fellow comrade. I don't know if he works at the Ministry of Truth with him or not. The book is leaving me right now, but the guy gets drunk because they all just smoke cigarettes and drink and watch sports and gamble. Razor blades were a thing of glory there. If you could just get a fresh blade to shave your face so it wasn't so scratchy. Um, He said that by the time the party's done, there will only be 4 words in all of the dictionary. You know? You can almost speak an emojicon. Slang's replaced real English. Music has been dumbed down. Movies aren't basically existing anymore because people don't even have attention span to sit down long enough to watch their way through a 3-hour movie. I remember I watched The Lord of the Rings back to back to back to back to back. It's like 14 hours a movie. I watched them all in one day one time. I was a young boy because I loved them so much. The death of the old world gets replaced by the new one. That always has happened. I'm completely fine with that, but that's where the history goes. Orwell didn't just know history, he saw the plan. I'm not sure how well 1984 sold in its time, but I don't think he made much money on it. His warning at the end is so chilling in that video. If I don't know if anybody's seen it, but he says that something like 1984 could definitely happen, and the future's on you, so don't let it happen. Orwell said if you want to envision the future of humanity, imagine a boot stomping on the face for all eternity. And what do we have now? We have a screen that stomps you in the face. They even have TikToks that go boop, 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 boop. Sugar on my tongue. There's teenagers on TikTok getting rich off shaking their ass. That's the boot stomping in your face. They've literally monetized. They know when your eyes dilate at the screen. Eye dilation, for people who don't know, is your dopamine spiking. And your eyes dilate because you're focusing on what interests you. And these little cameras there's that infrared front facing camera that takes thousands of pictures of your face every day, even when you're not using it as a camera. It's scanning your face the entire time you're using it for eye tracking, for ad revenue. And they couple that with you not knowing history. They couple that with, the hot girls on Instagram and TikTok that you'll literally scroll for 2 hours. Gooning, right? Gooning is endless masturbation with no pleasure. Think of that one. If jerking off wasn't bad enough to fake images, imagine never being able to come again. You know how worked up you would be if you were just always hard? They took pleasure from you. They literally took pleasure from you because they create your pleasure now. It was always said that Steve Jobs was evil and cell phones are the devil, which is why the apple's on the back of it with the bite taken out of it. They used to make red cell phones, like red Apple phones. Apple red. I don't know where Dave went, but was expecting the Candace Owens things. Honestly, I don't really know. I don't think I have this long, elaborate breakdown on Candace Owens and an assassination attempt. But I guess can just ask, do we really think that it wouldn't be possible that they would kill her? They shot a US President, John F. Kennedy, for not going along with Operation Northwood. Whether it was the mob or Harvey Lee Oswald, doesn't matter. They tried assassinating Trump in real time. Maybe it was fake. I don't know. MTG, Marley Taylor Greene said that there's no 4D chess being played to save America. It's just all for the elites and all the mega donors. Now, if you're Democrat or you're liberal or you're my mother, it's not a knock to her. I don't blame her. I would tell all the Trump supporters too that you voted for this. This is your fault. Blame me. Go ahead. I did vote for this. I didn't necessarily think it would entail this. I thought the level of corruption could be maintainable just like anybody else. I didn't start calling for the death of all politicians till very recently. I actually thought it was savable. I thought the country was savable. I still technically do. I know the country's savable. Founding fathers gave us the ability to change this government at a whim. We have the right for revolution. I don't need to ask for the redress of my grievance. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and it has been. It's just fine. But bear arms is also a terminology that I will reinterpret to anything now. It's not just firearms. The new bullets were information, Alex said. It's a war for your mind. Now, can I go further to say that these corporatized people that have taken our liberties at a government level and corporatized them, that the very echo chambers that shape the world have been altered and manufactured and mass produced so that my voice is no longer as powerful as it's supposed to be? Because you literally have people under a synthetic hypnosis. I've seen people scroll their whole day away. How's it not a public health crisis? You know, when Dave and I use the internet. Half of this is event therapy hatred for government. I know what this is. Like sometimes I rant. I'm getting better. I'll tell you this much: I didn't start doing this for entertainment. What entertainment is there in telling people that they're a slave to things that you can't touch and taste and feel? You know, I always said it would be a disservice if I didn't fight harder. But it seems the more I fight, the more the world fights back. You know, maybe it is time to just tuck tail and run away. Sell your house and move to the next state, and then sell your house and move to the next state until you end up at Texas or Florida or South Korea or whatever fucking bastion of hope that you think you got left. Buy an island in Hawaii and hope for no nukes, like Zuck. We could maybe do that. I can't afford. Not everybody can afford that, obviously, but is that what we're on? We just turn around and run. Aragon said in the Battle of Helm's Deep, he looks at a dude, a kid. They had kids fighting in the Battle of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. And he said, the kid said that we won't last a night. The men are saying it's hopeless. And Aragon says that there is always hope. Gandalf says in the Battle of Minas Tirith that faith is your best weapon now. I know these are childhood stories. These are childhood stories for me. These are, you know, the greatest stories ever told. They're romanticized suffering for higher means and higher understanding and to promote belief and faith and drive and to bring out the best in us. I'm completely fine with that. But I really have to wonder in a day and age of nihilism, when nihilism has gripped the average American, do you even care about faith if you can't afford groceries? Do you even care about family if there's no holiday? What are we celebrating? We're told the country was founded on racism and that they murdered Native Americans. But on Thanksgiving, they broke bread together and they shared each other's culture. They shared how to grow food together. And these are documented sources from both sides. Oral traditions from the Native Americans, written it down by the colonists, the pilgrims, rather. Rush Limbaugh used to do every year on Thanksgiving, he would do a reading to prove that this country wasn't founded on evil. Where's he now? I was talking earlier to somebody I know very close to me. We have very mutually shared interests, I'll say, at a private level. He's mixed race, not white, but mixed race. And we were talking cultural differences about respecting your elders because I told him that it's time to slap them. It's time to slap the elders because they're not helping us. Maybe I'm ungrateful, maybe it's because I didn't have elders to that were worthy of my respect coming up, at least the ones closest to me. That's fine. I understand that. But I couldn't help but think he's a couple years younger than me. I couldn't help but think that maybe evolution promotes future endeavors through micro changes. And I almost gotta wonder, like, if the psyche always keeps you in growth mindset is not evolution only gets you so far until you are content. And at some point, everything is content in evolution because how can you see the better if the better has never been existed and brought into reality? Which is why it takes something disagreeable like a Jesus Christ or an invention to change the way that the rest of us see the world, right? What happens when we stop inventing things? It's natural regression in human nature. Dave brought up human nature earlier. If we're not progressing, we are regressing because the very nature of humanity is to do better, right? Is it not? Our cells divide from 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 to 10. Our very early biology is nothing but splitting and multiplication. But then I'm told I'm a parasite. I'm told that I kill the earth and that there's too much carbon, as if it's our thing to measure. We're told to have an ego death, but man as itself is ego. The elites tell you you gotta give up your car, but they fly private airplanes. And I know if you pay attention enough, you can see through the Ponzi scheme that is actually the entire system. It's not even America. America just is an exacerbation of all the things that have ever happened, put into one government for the rich. Maybe America was never for the average man. But I've heard this been told, if it was not for the average man, why would they give us the perfect document to fight corruption? So maybe those men were really enlightened. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, Benjamin Franklin, John Hancock. Maybe these men really were enlightened, some of them. Maybe some of them were enlightened the other way. They were enlightened in the worst of the ways. I heard a story about Alan Watts today, who's a Buddha, like a modern Buddha. He was a Western philosopher teacher that went off to the Near East and studied the Buddha. I believe Taoism is what it's referred to. And he had this revelation that most of his contemporaries at the time and most of the people that preach, to do good, they give up their addictions, trying to act as if their ego is better than their internal state. And Alan Watts loved to drink and smoke cigarettes and was a womanizer. He would fuck his students, if I'm not mistaken, while he was married. And why, that guy probably had so much ass fall right into his lap. He's rather different and mystic and probably handsome in his own regard and probably dressed eccentric and talked about these crazy philosophy ideas and merging the West and East, stuff that's never been done. That's very, very exciting. High creativity is very exciting to people. Authenticity, Maslow's hierarchy of need, is the highest form of vibration. They can take a picture of your body and see the energy of authenticity. It produces an energy source. It's got to be very attractive, like literally, biochemically, spiritually, metaphysically, all of them. But Alan Watts said that he drinks so that he can understand his shadow, because to him, his shadow was actually the drunk Alan Watts. It was probably the womanizer. It was probably the guy that smoked cigarettes and dreaded the world and was filled with nihilism. But then he would bring himself back through all those practices he learned, maybe. He was finding the yin to his yang and his yang to his yin. I got left something today. I don't know if they're watching. But I didn't eat it. I didn't bite the apple that you left me. You can write notes on things, but I'll leave them in the place that I find them. A tree that you cut down provides no shade, even if you build a shed out of it. It's not shade. You know, if you burn off all the dead wood and you still cast a match, it's still dead wood. It died already. Burning it does nothing but prevent the next wood from going dead. And so the cycle continues. And now I feel like I'm rambling because Dave's here, but in the grand scheme of things, I think even Carl Jung says, until you make the subconscious conscious, it will guide you around and you will call it fate. But I think we're at a point and a time in human history, David, you brought up human nature. There's two possibilities now. Either people know exactly what they're doing and they lean into that, good, bad, indifferent, and ugly, or they don't know what they're doing and they're unconscious and they're driven by this consciousness, the screen's consciousness, the collective digital conscious. That's why FOMO exists. That's why people go out and buy a house just to put on Instagram. I have a family member that bought a house just to show it off on
this is
Instagram.
the free will debate.
I don't think there's a debate about
Essentially.
free will. I understand. I don't think
Well,
there's a debate
but what
about
you're
free
saying
will,
is
though.
where yeah, but what you're saying is where it stems from.
Hmm.
Because there is such a sheep-like mentality for so many people.
Well, we're natural herd animals. We have mirror neurons.
Do sheep have free
99%,
will?
99% of us would be concentration guards. Sheeps don't have free will because they can't think past, present, and future. They run on instinct and thrive on instinct. And I don't want to fucking hear that plants can fucking. We measured the plants and they feel pain. Sure, they did. Yeah, it's a biological connection. Now, does that mean we're not connected to nature like fucking Avatar? I'm not saying that. I think this whole thing is just a big magnet. You're a salt battery that runs on a vacuum that is pumped with an electromagnet. That's your heart. You're alkalized. You run on electrolytes. Electrolytes.
It's got what plants crave.
It's got salt. Literally salt is required for cellular communication. I went on a very deep rabbit hole there, David.
Listen, I kinda left you on an island.
No man is an island, David.
Ryan, we will just let's just jump from whatever I missed to this, Ryan.
You might have to listen to this pod, David.
I always do. A state parliament in Germany has approved the use of Palantir's controversial Gotham software to enable police forces to analyze data and prevent crimes.
That's Minority Report with Tom Cruise, and they call it Gotham. They call it they call it Gotham, like Batman's supercomputer. Batman: The Dark Knight with Christopher Nolan's director, Lucius Malf. Wow, I'm mixing names. Wow, why can't I remember him?
That's Hogwarts.
What's yeah? No, his name is Lucius. Oh my god, dude. What's his fucking name? The guy that makes all his shit. Lucius Fox. Lucas Fox. Yeah, Lucius Fox. I think. Pretty sure. I can dig up a book quick, but I won't. He says in there, because Batman, to catch the Joker, he turns all the cell phones on itself and basically makes it like reverse sonar with the Wi-Fi signal, which they can do that with your Wi-Fi router and everything else. And he says, I'm not responsible for this. This is tyranny. And Batman tells him in the movie that to punch in his name after he's done. And what happens is it blows the whole room up because, only Batman would have such power and give it up, David. They
A little
literally
bit of
have Minority
headlines
Report.
action.
They literally have Minority
That's
Report.
Minority Report. That's how I was thinking.
Literally,
Ryan, this is
Minority Report.
from the New York Post.
Predict future crime. It's not even a fucking
Meta.
If you can, oh my god, if you can make me do
Right.
something
It's
through
using algorithm
synthetic,
to to tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah, and then it's gonna fulfill it because you're gonna make people we know that when you show people images of stuff or be like, "Yep, there's mass murder going on," people are gonna go out and commit mass murder. The psychos, at least.
Well,
Of course, you can predict crime if you create
just like we
crime.
know if you have running water just like we know if you have running water in,
You
like,
have the odds of getting
Argentina,
pregnant.
you're, like, 89% more likely to have get pregnant as a teen or some crazy shit, whatever the fuck we stumbled don't take the numbers for granted, but that
Yeah,
general
how did I don't even remember how we got on that. That was crazy. It's a crazy show.
uh, this is from New York Post, Ryan. Meta employees compared themselves to drug pushers as a company buried mental health harms to kids, showed in unsealed documents. Meta's own researchers called Instagram a drug while burying evidence that the company's social media apps were hurting kids' mental health, according to the bombshell filings unsealed in California's federal court document on Friday. The alarming details surfaced in Northern California District Court, where a coalition of U.S. state attorneys general, school districts, and parents are suing Meta, Google-owned YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat over allegations they prioritized profit while misleading the public about potential risks to children.
Those
That's
people
where
should be shot. They should be shot in public. Hung in public.
the plaintiffs allege that the internal evidence showed Meta has a track record of systematically downplaying or covering up research showing how its apps were fueling
Mhm.
addiction and anxiety or depression, as well as evidence that kids were being exposed to online sexual predators.
Was YouTube referenced in this or no?
It did say YouTube, yeah.
Okay. Kill 'em. These people are
The
coming for
filing
the
cited
human
testimonies from Instagram's.
genome. They wanna copy the human genome and print you out a computer. They need to die. They can send me to jail for I don't even care anymore. You know, what are you taking from me? My job? These people know
The
exactly what
filing
they're
cited
doing.
testimony
That's
from
why they
Instagram's
buried the
former
fucking
head of
documents.
safety and well-being, Vaishnavi Yakamar, along with internal docs that showed Meta had a 17x strike policy before suspending accounts linked to trafficking for human sex. 17x policy. You know how long it takes to get thrown off of Meta or YouTube for a political video with an opinion that's uh, wrong thought crime?
Think before it's illegal,
One.
people. I still, to this day, cannot search my own podcast that I'm subscribed to, that I create on YouTube. To this day, I still cannot find my own program. I can find all of Jon Stewart's fucking bullshit.
Think he's calling mental illness?
What?
Do you think he's causing mental illness?
I mean, look, David, if they're gonna get me with radicalizing people, like if I say go kill the guy that fucking runs YouTube, and they go and do it, and they're gonna say, well, Ryan on YouTube said to do it, and I can go to jail, then clearly, if my words are that powerful, what the fuck is the person behind all these apparatuses responsible for? That means Mark Zuckerberg is literally responsible for all the bad things that happen on his program, on his platform, his publisher, including all of the mental health problems, the psychoses, the schizophrenia.
Whoa, not sorry to jump around.
Dave,
Project
remember when I said
Veritas.
I can't wait until I break Google? Like I will destroy
Yeah,
the
you're gonna
building.
unplug it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am going to unplug that fucking computer.
Ryan, I don't mean to jump around, but Project Veritas posted about the Candace Owens thing. Do you
Oh,
remember?
I'm sure he has inside information of people talking. It's probably where she got part of the information, and then they collaborated. And he said, "Huh, look at this. You know, where's anonymous? Where's anonymous in all this?"
I don't even know if he's around anymore.
Well, they were supposed to be a series of hackers. How come the hackers aren't releasing all this data?
Not important data, Ryan.
The government was anonymous. Remember,
Ryan,
remember the 5th of November.
well, wait, hold on. So, do you remember how Attorney General Bill Barr was tied into the Epstein thing? Like his father was one of the people early on who was
If I'm
very
not
close with
mistaken,
Epstein.
Bill Barr's father was the guy that hired him at the college that he worked at to teach math
Okay,
class.
perfect. So Bill Barr is in this. I thought that was the case. Let's see if I can read. Hi, I need you to start working on the blank and Candace Owens case. It's from somebody to somebody. I'm not. It's kind of hard. And it responds with a question mark. Armstrong will give you the commands, but we need to focus on black and blank first. Work with Armstrong on this. Send some underage girls to secure him. He's an easy target. The harder one is Candace because she's very resistant. Gather the group to come up with a good strategy, but don't waste time. For blank, it would be good to have something we could use to put him in jail.
They will
The
drug her
response,
water, they will poison the air, they will spray it
well,
with
there's,
fucking nitrous oxide to make her hallucinate, they will do whatever. Dude, there was stuff that they
wait, there's
wipe
more.
on your
There's more.
doorknob, and
He's
then you
the
touch it and
whoever
touch
this
your
person is.
face, and then you now you're on acid. I'm
Whoever this
sorry.
person says I don't want to be on that. And then there's more, and it says, "Have you been working on the issue with Candace Owens? We need to blackmail her faster. Klasick has been very effective. Tell Armstrong to send the photographer to follow her and also follow her husband. Want to know if they need to focus on Candace or blank Candace first. I'm so angry at her that I can't stop thinking if the things she says about Klasick, I don't know who that person is, are taken seriously, they will investigate the use of money in the election campaign. We have to bring out material to destroy her reputation before she gets to us." So is Bill Barr in on that? Like I'm confused. It says Mary Barr Daley, former senior DOJ official, the daughter of former AG Bill Barr. So the daughter of Bill Barr, whose father was tied to Epstein. And Bill Barr was tied to Epstein too, for what it's worth. But
They're gonna send her over there to fuck somebody? Is that what that says? They're gonna
I don't know if they were going to have her do that, but yeah.
for the record, they would, David. These people are sick and worship Satan.
Blackmail her faster. Blackmail her faster, Ryan.
Blackmail the black girl.
Wow,
Whitewash
yeah,
her, David.
that's crazy.
These people need to hang. Like, I don't know what we're waiting for. I know what we're waiting for. We're waiting for somebody to do it.
Waiting for the
But
proles, Ryan.
they're you're looking at them. I speak for all the pros. I have all of the collective unconscious of everybody to ever live. I'm tired of waiting. But my dad's gonna tell me I'm on meth again.
I think drugs were legal for the proles. Was that right? Am I right about that?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes, sex too. Sex was good for the
Can't,
proles.
they were not
Not good
allowed to
for
have
them.
sex. They were not.
The
Well,
pro, but
the pros were, but the
yeah,
people
yeah,
in the
yeah.
party were not allowed to
Right.
have sex.
Correct. Yeah.
They couldn't fall in love.
Except for procreation, if I remember correctly, if it was approved.
Yes, it had to be selected. And the reason to go further, they didn't want the member of the party to fall in love is because it would hijack their dopamine systems, basically. He didn't say that, but Orwell knew the plan. They let him write the book. I got left something today.
What were you left?
Food.
Food's good.
I left it. Right
You
where
left. You left food.
I left right where I found it.
Did you think it was poisoned?
Crossed my mind for half a second, David.
Hmm.
I know
I
who it
need to know anyway.
I know who it was from.
I would be the easiest person to poison.
I've been drugged before.
I'm eating
So
that bitch. I need you to know. You try to poison me, I'm still eating it. I
I
don't care.
have been drugged before by drugs I didn't know were in something, and I didn't want to take them, and I was drugged. Isn't it funny, a little wisp was flying around there? I told you guys somebody said something to Candace Owens. How long do you think it took her to find Bill Barr and all that? If Tucker Carlson was able to figure it out.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Project Veritas gets the stuff they get, but
Well, an average 7 and, like, 2 Labatt Blues, David,
usually a little bit of
and a
alcohol.
pair of Meta glasses.
I'll send you my tits. Just send me screenshots of like the craziest shit you do
Oh my god,
behind.
tell me about Bill Barr and I'll rub my pussy.
What's that tits? Yeah, here you go. Here's all the screenshots of all the deepest, darkest secrets ever. Want to go on a second date? Nope. Bye.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
Did I tell you guys about the blackmail
Crazy.
story on Tinder for me, dude? It was fucking
Mhm.
rough. Mhm.
I'd
See, I
fight that
love
head
that
on.
they're like, "Yo, this person's an easy target." Yeah, Candace, it ain't gonna work. Dude, Candace is probably out there growing. She probably got hydroponics in her house. You know, like, is fucking growing her own food. She's probably got an air filter attached to the whole fucking apartment. She's friends with the Tates. I wouldn't be surprised if she lives on their yacht eventually.
That's what I got.
So, Dave, are you finally on board that Candace Owens that they're trying to kill her, or you're not convinced yet?
I just
You're the
this.
Tim Pool. You're the Tim Pool of us, and I'm the Alex
Well,
Jones.
I'd like to see something. You know, I
There's
mean, it'd be
nothing to
nice.
see.
Yeah, of course there is.
These people are going for broke, dude.
I
You read 1984. It was
2 days
written
ago,
70
two
years
days
ago, and you're
ago,
like,
I was
"Ah, I need to see
contacted.
proof."
2 days ago, I was contacted by a high-ranking employee of the French government after determining this person's position and proximity to the French couple. I've determined the information they gave to me to be credible enough to share publicly. Perfect. Share it. In the event that something. No, in the event. Share it. Fucking share it. Share it.
Dave, she probably
Let
got
me
a
see.
fucking dead switch, so when she dies,
Let
her
me
heart explodes. It releases all the files onto the internet.
just share it now.
Dave,
Now.
can you pull
Right
up a
now.
video? Can you pull up a video and we'll get out of here?
But yeah, sure.
YouTube, you can YouTube George Orwell's Final Warning. And have you seen this personally?
Was this on his BBC interview or whatever?
Mhm.
I think so.
I seen this many years ago. I've seen it cycle the internet maybe once or twice on like a Facebook page, but I think it's just a perfect chef's kiss.
Why would she show the proof? It's dangerous. Why would she wait?
Well,
I don't know, man. I
David, when you cast the
maybe it's
light
easy
on
for me to
rats,
say.
they run. When you cast the lights on rats, they run. You also
Well,
got to think
yes,
her sharing information, to be
right.
honest,
Spurial.
it might actually like the people that gave her the information may actually die. And there also may be way deeper information than we understand. I'm not standing up for it. I would just show everything in real. I would show my work like mathematical algebra, but I'm just a conspiracy theorist. All right, here we go. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
By the time Orwell married Sonia Brownell, 1984 was written, after which he would never leave his bed again. But he left one final warning.
1984 is,
Super poor house, huh?
I believe, a quite terrifying masterpiece. So terrifying, in fact, I don't think I should like to read another like it.
I'm not absolutely dissatisfied with it. I think it is a good idea, but the execution would have been better if I had not been under the influence of TB when I wrote it.
You once claimed that you have an ability to face unpleasant facts. Is that what you've demonstrated in
Face your
1984
shadow.
by drawing an accurate portrait of the future?
Well, he was Winston. He
I
rewrote
think
the
that
truth.
allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
Broke the fourth wall right at the end, David. The BBC actually has a statue of him, I'm pretty sure, like outside one of their facilities or the one he worked at. And when he quit there, he wrote a resignation letter telling him to fucking fuck off, and he basically called them the Ministry of Truth. He was Winston
I was
in the
going to
book.
say it's hilarious that they have a statue of him when they are the Ministry of Truth. That's fucking craziness.
Well, that's what they do. These people are
Right over their
psychopaths.
heads, Brian, right? They totally didn't know.
They probably gave him tuberculosis. Because, if Christopher Columbus gave all the Indians smallpox, why wouldn't the party give Winston tuberculosis? After all, David, it's just a parody. Ha ha. Truth has been being shown to me in different ways. Not that I understand it, but for some reason I think I understand it, which I guess is a small grain of truth, even in a field full of lies. It's like the farther you stand back from something, the closer you can look at it. I'm still thinking about how you thought your dad was a retard, even though he has a literal genius IQ card and he fights off counterterrorism while he's fucking drinking a cup of coffee and playing fucking Clash of Clans.
It's the nature of parent-child nature.
Look, I'll say it again for the 8 millionth time. Not that I trust the military, but we need military tribunals and gut these people from power. And there's going to be a cook somewhere in the middle of a Navy vessel that's going to be a 5-star general overnight because he's the most moral person left in government. And if this computer keeps going, David, Lord willing, I make it that far, I am going to unplug you. I will unplug you. I will gladly unplug you. And I don't care who calls me crazy. I don't care if you call me terrorist. I don't care if you arrest me. I will unplug that fucking computer. You're going to have to eagle eye me like in fucking Shia LaBeouf's movie. I will unplug you, and I will watch the fall of this shit. I truly believe that. Until then, don't let it happen. Dave Ryan, December 17th, 73. Catch us on Rumble for the only podcast in human history. As always, David, I appreciate you for your 23 minutes. I'll see everybody later.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.